Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into the first few moments of a digital heist. Now, forget what you see in the movies. The whole smash and grab thing. This is different. This is about how a smart attacker, once they find just one tiny crack in a system, starts to draw a complete blueprint to the entire vault. Okay, so picture this. An attacker gets a foothold inside a system. What's their first move? You might think it's, just grabbing all the data they can, right? But that's not how the pros do it. Nope, it is all about reconnaissance. It's kind of like a detective casing a joint before the big heist. They need to know the layout, inside and out. And that recon, it starts with a really basic fundamental question. Before you can even think about cracking a safe, you have to know what kind of safe it is. So in the digital world, that means the attacker's first job is to figure out exactly what kind of database they've just broken into. Yeah, so their first move isn't some big, loud battering ram. It's more like a quiet conversation. The attacker starts sending these really specific, subtle questions, almost like they're trying to coax the database into introducing itself, to get it to reveal its own identity. But here's the thing, and this is what's really interesting. There's no single magic key that works everywhere. A good attacker has to be, multilingual. They'll try asking for the system's version using the dialect for, say, Microsoft SQL. If that doesn't work, no problem. They'll just switch it up and try the command for Oracle and then maybe PostgreSQL. It's this quiet process of elimination, just trying different keys until one of them fits the lock. And then, boom, a response like this is the jackpot. It is total confirmation. They now have the exact make, the model, even the specific software version of the system they're in. Suddenly, the lights are on. They're not working in the dark anymore. Okay, so the attacker knows the brand of the file cabinet, right? But that's not nearly enough. The next step is to figure out what's actually in it and how it's all organized. They need that internal blueprint. So the next logical move is to find those file cabinets, which in database speak we call tables. In these tables, this is where all the good stuff is. We're talking about the valuable information they're really after. Things like usernames, passwords, maybe even credit card numbers. And a real pro does this methodically. It's not random. They build their map in 2 really clean steps, just so they don't get lost. Step 1 is simple. Get a list of all the tables, all the file cabinets. Then step 2, once they spot one that looks interesting, they peek inside to see how the files are labeled. So you might be asking, how do they even get that list? Well, funny enough, and pretty convenient for an attacker, most modern databases have this built-in directory. It's called the information_schema. They can literally just ask it, hey, what tables do you have? And you know what? It'll just tell them. It reports back with a full list. And the result comes back. It's a simple list of names, products, feedback, and then right there, one name just jumps off the page. Users. That's it. That's the treasure chest they've been hunting for.
All right, so they found the right file cabinet, that users table. What's the next crucial step? Well, now they need to see exactly what's stored inside.
So with users locked in as the prime target, the attacker goes right back to that handy information schema. Only this time, they ask a much more focused question. They say, okay, now show me the structure of just the users table. And there it is. This is the aha moment. The database just hands over the exact column names inside that table. User ID, username, and, password. The labels on the individual drawers of the treasure chest are now perfectly clear. So let's just quickly recap the heist so far. This wasn't guesswork, right? It wasn't some clumsy smash and grab. Just by asking a series of quiet, smart questions, the attacker now has a perfect blueprint. They know the system, they found the target table, and they know the exact column names that hold the keys to the kingdom. But what happens when the map is written in a totally different language? Because not every system plays by the same rules. And this is where an attacker's real skill gets put to the test. See, an inexperienced attacker, someone who only knows that one trick, querying the standard information schema, they'd probably hit a brick wall right here. Their usual commands would come back empty, and they might just give up, thinking the database is empty or the attack failed. But a skilled attacker, they know they just need to adapt. And this is where the pros really earn their stripes. You see, while most databases use that standard information schema, Oracle? Oracle is the big outlier. It kind of speaks its own language. A smart attacker has to know the specific command to query different tables, like all tables. It's a pretty subtle change in the command, but that one tiny detail is what separates a successful heist from a complete dead end. So why does all this recon matter so much? Because really, it's everything. It's what confirms the target is vulnerable in the first place. It identifies the exact technology they're dealing with, and it creates that perfect blueprint for the theft. This phase is what turns a clumsy break-in attempt into a clean, surgical, and devastatingly efficient heist. And that leaves us here. The attacker has the complete blueprint. They know where the usernames are, they know where the passwords are. The heist is ready to go. So the question is no longer how they'll get the data, but what do you think they'll choose to take first?